The Irish Media Commission is trying to label and censor factual information as a systematic risk under the Digital Services Act, which means that the entire internet in Ireland is trying to be censored by these elite, woke lefties. Ireland being one of the most censored countries in the world, this will eventually come into place, 100%. That's why my channel, hopefully we keep it running as long as possible, but myself and others are at massive risk of being cancelled, censored, deleted, because of course the woke psychopaths that run the Irish government don't want reality. They want this globalist sort of agenda-driven country. You know, it's absolutely psychotic what's happening in the Irish government in 2025. To think that the US is actually putting pressure, JD Vance is putting pressure on the Irish government not to censor information, do not cancel people, do not delete YouTubers, do not delete Instagrammers, have the internet more free. And the Irish government is going out of their way to actually censor the internet. This is absolutely disgusting. Let's watch this video.
Confirmed that the work of the Commission has nothing to do with malinformation as I describe it. I understand the other terms the Minister used, but I would like to clarify or to have clarity on that specific question about whether you see malinformation as coming within your brief.
I haven't heard that term before, but if I understand the way you described it, it sounds like just a particular type of mis and disinformation.
Well, now, let's say, for example, let's say one had information that was actually true about, but likely to cause, you know, annoyance, unrest, hostility, you know. Could be about, let's say, crime statistics and particular cohorts or so on. I don't want to get into giving inflammatory examples. Yeah. So it wouldn't be misinformation or disinformation.
I've seen a lot of attempts to try and categorize in a scientific way different ways to present truthful or not truthful information, and it's very, very difficult. They overlap, they don't overlap. The context changes, and suddenly there's a new kind of or new category of kind of information. So I push back a little bit and say I would think that malinformation is still a kind of mis or disinformation. And as such, it could get caught by that as a systemic risk issue under the Digital Services Act.
Okay.
But you know, it's the more sophisticated and distant you go from illegal content, the harder it is to make those calls, right? With it, and trying to always maintain that balance of freedom of expression.
That is a lie. They are never trying to maintain the balance of freedom of information and freedom of thoughts. They're absolutely not trying to do that. They are trying to censor our entire lives on the internet. So I, as an independent news broadcaster, can't actually present news topics to you. Look at the mainstream media as it is. They don't even show us or publish any details on ethnicities of people when they commit crimes. How can we actually publish data and give facts to the Irish public if you don't even actually track the ethnicity of different people, or the ages of different people, or the flippin' whatever, where they're from, where were they originally born, things like that? How can we even understand the news to be real at all anymore? Everything is formulated. RT News is crafted to make you think it's a certain thing. This is crafted. Every single thing in our daily lives now is a brainwashed, propaganda-led, driven idea. So the Irish public are just confused completely about what's actually happening in the news. I was confused until I looked into it. And then when I looked into it quite hard, then I understand now the bullshit that we're being fed on a daily basis. Hopefully, people like me and other creators will never get pushed off the internet and censored off the internet, because we're finished, because the only resource that we have to push back against the Irish government and dissent the government is literally the internet. Everything else in person and all these protests, it's not getting any information out there to the masses. It's good, but we need mass information. They're putting out mass disinformation with RT over the last 50 years. We need to push back with our information, a counter narrative to their bullshit propaganda. And of course, this is an epidemic of weak men in the Republic of Ireland. I don't know what it is, lads, but 80% of men that are on the internet and in this political game seem like cucks, and they seem like they have no backbone whatsoever. It's just unbelievable, the weakness of this men. No flipping mental strength, no physical strength, no nothing. No spiritual strength. They don't believe in anything. They don't believe in anything apart from the God, which is their money. And it's just disgusting. You know, if you saw in the last video, it's just two, you know, skinny fat men with little bellies and pudgy faces and just look like dog shit, basically. And they're giving out information to the rest of Ireland. Like, how can these weak men be in charge? I mean, this is ridiculous. Is there no scrutiny involved? And then when we do try and scrutinize them with words and whatever, bullying, that's this, they start to label us as flipping psychopaths and put us in jail. Whenever we try and push back, they just put everybody in jail. It's just ridiculous. Let's watch this video. This is Sarah Louise Mulligan. So she's a presidential candidate, but it's great to see that women are speaking up. And I've noticed that the women in Ireland, I mean, I speak to so many women in my friend groups, and they're all right-wing based. Like, they're just legends. The men are the only feminine people in the country. It's true. The women have no feminine energy. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable. If you're under 30, just best believe the men are just cucked and the women are just running the show. Like, it's just unbelievable. And it's like, what the hell is happening to this country? I mean, this country is finished unless these weak little bitches get kicked out of power and some real men step up and take the flipping charge. Unbelievable.
Okay, the other question about healthcare surviving without immigrants. First and foremost, I don't have an issue with immigration. What I have an issue with is illegal immigration, okay? And if we look at the healthcare system, there has been a Nigerian man who raped elderly people, okay?
We have to be, I'm sorry, I cannot have a situation, excuse me, I cannot have a situation.
It's been in the news.
Excuse me, I'm the chair of this meeting, not you. Okay? I'm not having...
Look at this frail little bitch ass man. Look at this weak man with his little tiny hands and his little frail neck, pencil neck, shouting at the women. It's always the weak men that shout at the women, because even the weakest man could be a woman in a physical fight, right? They never ever, I've noticed this happened 3 times in the last week. It's always a weak man that speaks up against a woman. It's never against another man. Like, you never see a woke man like this speak up against Brock Lesnar. You know, like you'd never see that, because they're afraid. They're literally cowards, guys. They're literally cowardice. So she very well says that a Nigerian man who's an elderly care worker sexually assaulted a woman and people, and you're not even allowed to speak about it anymore. What the hell has happened to this country? I cannot wait till I get elected. I'm going to be saying the craziest shit ever. Just wait, guys.
Okay? I'm not having issues like that raised. I don't know, none of us know
It's been
the legality.
in the news.
Sorry. I'm the chair. I'm determining what happens in this chamber or not. Answer the next question, please.
Holy
50 seconds
shit.
left.
Okay, so we spoke
God.
about...
This lady says I have no problem with immigration. I do. I have a problem with immigration. No, but in all seriousness, guys, there is obviously a massive problem with immigration into this country. Like, people that are immigrants would agree with that as well. Like, there is flipping absolutely like a crime that's going crazy. There's gang violence. There's loads of different crime. Of course, there's obviously white collar crime, rich people, BlackRock taking over and destroying, you know, companies and corporations in Ireland as well. Absolutely. But there is that low level of violence as well in the country that's just taken over. Like, it's going crazy. There's Roma gypsies on every corner, and we'll get to them in a second. But there's Roma gypsies on every corner. There's flipping rubbish, and flipping just disgusting cigarette butts and bins open and just disgusting stuff on the side of the road as well. There is an issue with that. But how disgusting that Sarah Louise Mulligan, who's anti-illegal immigration, which everybody should be against. I mean, that's not even a thing. That's like saying I'm anti-crime. Like, yeah, of course, I don't want a crime-ridden country. Of course I'm against illegal migrants. Jesus, it's against the law. Do you agree with the rule of law? Or do you agree with flipping anarchy? But that's what these weak men, they love anarchy, they love Marxism, they love communism. They want this left-wing, psychopathic-driven country. I don't want to live in that country. Just go to flipping Cuba. Go to flipping, what's that place? North Korea. Like, we don't want your ass in Ireland. If you want Marxism, communism, this left-wing politics in Ireland, we don't want you here. We are a capitalist republic. We don't want your ass here. So very well said by her. She's not even allowed to give her opinion anymore. She's not even allowed to talk about things that have been in the mainstream news, where a man sexually assaulted people as a care worker. You're allowed to say those kind of things, guys. If it's factual, it's a fact. But they don't like facts anymore. The left-wing Marxists, they try and distort reality. They make you not believe what you're seeing with your own two eyes. In real time, they do that. And these, of course, are some of the people that are coming over. This is the legal migration, which is terrible in some aspects as well, the legal migration. All coming from Eastern Europe, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland. All these Roma gypsies are flooding in to Ireland, pickpocketing people and just standing around doing nothing with their red dress. I mean, this is now the society that we live in. Like, where's the work getting done? You know, they go to the welfare office. We saw a few weeks ago in a video, a woman got €765 per week because supposedly she probably has 5 or 6 kids. So she gets €100 plus every week with her dole, with her welfare. So they're just living off the welfare, you know, happily. Because if they were back in Romania, earning €700 a week would be like you're a multimillionaire. But here in Ireland, that's the regular. They just love the welfare. It's disgusting. I mean, look at the state of this, lads. Unreal. You see, in Ireland, like, a lot of people, because if you didn't go to every Eastern Europe in your life or anything like that, and I'm talking about going to Prague. You know, Prague, there's no gypsies. But if you guys go to, like, more rural parts of Eastern Europe, you know, like near Ukraine and this kind of stuff, which I've been thousands of times, the gypsies there, guys, are, like, just ubiquitous. I mean, there's just so many gypsies. It's unbelievable. And they're just pouring into Ireland. And the Irish government say, yeah, no problem. Come one, come all. You know, and it's literally a disaster in Eastern Europe. But Irish people don't understand. They don't get it. You know, the Irish people don't understand, like, and now they're going to learn the hard way. So hide your phones, hide your kids. That's all I'm saying. You know, pickpocket, pickpocket. Also got a super interesting video here from the Late Late Show. This is, of course, the Irish Late Late Show hosted by Patrick Keelty. It says he recorded a special message and support for fellow chat show host Jimmy Kimmel. Of course, they're all part of this globalist woke narrative and agenda that's being pushed onto the people. It's a globalist agenda. And let's hear what he says, but take note about what he says because it's very, very powerful to this woke left-wing agenda.
Hey Jimmy, it's Patrick Keelty saying a big hello from Studio 4 of RT here in Dublin, Ireland, home to the Late Late Show for over 60 years. Now during that time there have of course been many in power who have wanted our show off air, and yet our bosses have never considered shutting us down. Tonight we're extending the hand of free speech and friendship to let you know that you're always welcome here. So if you ever need a studio or a desk or an audience or a band, we're here for you. And most importantly of all, Jimmy, this is Ireland, so we can promise that you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Notice how I say that the left, this woke Marxism, communism, they try and distort reality and they try and make you not believe your own eyes and your own ears in this case. He says in full capitals, you can say whatever the F you want. And what he's basically trying to do is he's trying to undermine America, the American leadership, Donald Trump, that kind of thing. Whereas what Jimmy Kimmel got fired for was misinformation. Okay, he said that the Charlie Kirk shooter was a MAGA right-wing guy, where he wasn't. He was a transgender man with a transgender boyfriend, and he was super left-wing. He had Marxist communism things written on the guns. He said, hey, fascist, catch this, and all that kind of stuff. So he was 100% left-wing. But Jimmy Kimmel on a national TV show knew very well about this, and he tried to distort the narrative. Secondly, he says you can say whatever the F you want right here. People don't understand. This is a massive psychological operation. He's basically trying to say that, like, in Ireland, we're able to, like, have more freedom of speech than in the US, when 100% we do not have as much freedoms as the USA. In terms of speech. No way, 100%, guys. I mean, this is a real-time psyop. Real-time psyop. In Ireland and the UK, they literally come to your house and arrest you if you say anything against the government. You may be able to drop an F-bomb every once in a while. You can't say see you next Tuesday. You can't say certain words on national TV as well. So he's not able to say whatever the F he wants. He's basically also trying to say that our government is this left-wing woke government and you can say what you want here. And that some fascist Donald Trump won't censor you. It's just such bullshit. They're again trying to twist the narrative. And hopefully people understand this and they're awoken to this. Because him dropping an F-bomb is a very powerful message by the lefties. They want to show you that, oh, we can say whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. You cannot, guys. If you do anything in this country, threaten people, if you say anything, you can go to jail. If you post a wrong thing on X, if you do this, if you do that, if you speak out, you can actually go to jail in this country. The only reason that more people haven't been going to jail because of YouTube and Instagram is because lack of resources in the police, the Gardaí, right? And it's like such a psyop that he would make people think that there's more freedoms of speech in Ireland than there is in the United States of America. They have in their constitution, freedom of speech shall not be infringed. In Ireland, it's infringed. Anything, you're not allowed to speak out against the state. You're not allowed to speak out against any religion. Like, you can't speak out against anything. Man, like, we live in literally a communist dictatorship. So to try and compare that we have more freedoms of speech than the US is just insane, lads. That's just absurd. The last news story we have today is about Harvey, hashtag justice for Harvey, where basically a child died after waiting for 8 years on a waiting list for a scoliosis surgery. There was pressure on the poor kid's heart and lungs and he ended up passing away. Now, it should have only taken 4 months, like Simon Harris talked about. 4 months on the waiting list, no problem. 2 to 3, 4 months, no problem. But in reality, all these politicians do is lie, en masse. They never actually put any pen to paper. They never actually help anyone. They don't give a shit, guys. As long as they're getting paid a little bit of money, that's their god now. They don't care. Let's listen to what they have to say.
Last July, or July of this year, the very worst thing happened and you guys lost Harvey. You know, as a parent and every parent watching here tonight, to even just hold yourselves together during that time is a huge thing to do. You guys, on top of that, decided to take on this campaign. Why was that important to you, Gillian?
Because I think his death feels incredibly unjust. You know, we have knowing now that he was only going to live to 9, knowing that he spent the guts of 3 years in pain on a wait list, feels incredibly unjust. If Harvey had had the timely access to healthcare, I feel like he wouldn't have missed so much of his childhood. We would have more memories as a family, more happy memories as a family, and not so many negative memories. And I just feel like it robbed him of a large portion of his childhood, and I think that's incredibly unfair. Like, Harvey's not an isolated case. You know, we see this up and down the country, unfortunately. Where these children are being, for want of a better word, they're being neglected. They're not getting the care they need and the time that they need, and these children are sitting on a wait list to the point that they can become inoperable. I've seen children die. We've seen children end up with massive cardiac problems from this. And it's just, we don't want, having lost Harvey, we don't want any other families to go through what we've gone through.
Absolutely horrendous stuff. You know, it's even really painful watching those videos because it's like all the person needs is a surgery. Like, how much is a surgery? Like, how much is a surgery, guys? Like, is it gonna break the Irish bank? Like the Irish politicians spend billions on bullshit every single day. The European Union could have helped them out. Anybody could have helped them out. But of course, they're not able to. They're not able to get help. They'd rather care more about bringing in people and replacing people rather than actually helping save one of their own. It's absolutely disgusting. Let me know your thoughts on that. Hashtag justice for Harvey. I mean, it's absolutely horrendous. Those news stories that I put out today, between censorship and Roma gypsies inflicting the country, and then on top of it, you have our own people dying because they can't get surgeries that are not even that complicated. Like, I looked into the surgeries. It's not even that super complicated stuff. It's just alignment and, you know, this is just basic shit that the government can't even get correct, guys. I mean, what are we supposed to do? I mean, it's actually a disaster. But between that stuff, guys, I mean, I just think that we're living in a dystopian time. Ireland is really going downhill quickly. I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to pull it back if we don't do something quickly, because all will be lost and time is of an essence here. We need to vote in a new government. We need to vote in new people. Come together. If you guys have friends and family, wake them up. Show them these videos. Push other content. Show them other content. Understand what's going on in this country. I love you guys all. If you want to support me, push back against the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is dead. And the mainstream media will never show these news stories. They don't care. They just give you the globalist, left-wing, Marxist narrative. That's it. And we're screwed then forever. Hit the join link, become a member for €3 per month. It can help support me so I can push back every single day, which we're never giving up on these news topics. And I'll see you all in the next one, man. Peace.